Hi, hello, and welcome everybody. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Weekend was extraordinarily busy for me, but it was very nice. My friend Goldie here can attest to that. Some really fun stuff happened this weekend that I may or may not talk about later. Depends on who comes in later down the stream. But yeah, hope everyone is doing well. Happy Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on where you might be in the world. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. And yeah, Goldie, please be careful. Do not get hailed on while you are in and out drive through. That would be very bad. Unless you have the insurance to cover your car damage. If you do that, by all means, go ahead. You got to make sure you get our keto, our favorite meal for keto. So bro, keto has been amazing for me. I think it is going to be a mainstay in my lifestyle for a long time to come. And obviously, I'm not saying that like I'm going to do keto forever. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying like if I am undisciplined again and my weight starts to balloon again, I think keto is such a good option for me to be able to kind of get things back under control. So yeah, really been enjoying it. It's I think I can still eat some of my favorite foods, and it works. Like I am seeing very uh clear results, both numerically and visually, and just generally I have a lot of energy. So really great stuff. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. The plan for today is our traditional kind of story recap slash discussion stream that we always do after we finish a major story quest within Honkai Star Rail. We always do these usually the weekend after the story release. Weekend was too busy this time around. I couldn't get to it. And then I was hoping to do it yesterday, but just a rough day at work. And then I had a lot of things to do afterwards as well, pertaining to my health. So that was too difficult for me to do. So we're doing it today. Unfortunately, a little bit late, but that's all good. These streams are pretty chill though. I never really have a concrete plan for these streams. It's usually just like, hey, if you want to come in and chat, we can go ahead and chat. Otherwise, I'm gonna ramble for a good hour or two just on my own because that's what I'm good at. I am very good at rambling about what I am passionate about. So yeah, just really depends on if anyone comes in and if they do come in, how active it is. So but having said that, we are also going to do the anniversary account review because I thought that would be fun to do on stream as well, just to kind of keep it recorded. And so I saved it up until now. I have not taken a look at it. So we're going to do that. I think probably first. Yeah, we're going to do that first. And then we will kind of get into the discussion slash recap stream. So should be a fun time. Housekeeping items for today. I don't think I really have any. Well, I think the big thing is for those of you who have been keeping up with the channel, you guys know that once we finished with 4.2, once we streamed the summons, the trailers, the story quest, the whole shebang for 4.2, we were going to finally return to our normally scheduled program, which was streaming Zenless Zone Zero in between Honkai Star Rail content releases, and that is what we're going to do. So the next stream will probably be later this week, either 2 days from now or 3 days from now, somewhere around there. And it's going to be back to Zenless. I'm not going to say what it is, but we are going to be back to Zenless Zone Zero, so that should be a really fun time. It's been quite some time since we did a Zenless on the channel again, so I'm looking forward to it, and should be really cool. I've been wanting to catch up, man. I've been wanting to catch up. I've been doing a lot of Zenless on the side, and obviously I'll show you guys what I mean by that once we actually pick it back up again. But yeah, should be cool. Goldie, if your most used isn't Firefly, I'll be surprised. Actually, Goldie, I think you going by logic, I think you'll agree with this. I'm pretty sure my most used is going to be Castris because I stopped using Firefly once Cyrene came out, but Cyrene has been permanently attached to Castris, and I used Castris before Cyrene came out, so I think it's going to be Castris. Unfortunately, well, unfortunately, I love Castris. Great character. I'm not saying unfortunately like I hate Castris, but yeah, Firefly and Cyrene would be the two that I would like expect to be my most used. So, and then once Himiko SP comes out, I will then transition from using Cyrene to using Himiko's team whenever she releases. So that is the plan. But yeah, I don't think it'll be Firefly. I think it's either gonna be Cyrene or Caceres, but because Caceres is permanently attached to Cyrene, I don't think I've ever used Cyrene outside of the like Exodia Remembrance team. That's gonna be probably my most used. But we'll see. Firefly would be a happy surprise. I'd be down for Firefly as well. So yours was Finon, right? Finon was your most used. I think you sent me a couple of screenshots, but I didn't like look too deeply into them because I hate you with every fiber of my being. Goldie stars, unfollow and follow and unfollow everyone. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we're gonna do the anniversary account review, and then after that, we'll kind of get into the discussion and the recap. And if no one comes in, no one's gonna chat with us. I'm just gonna ramble for an hour or two, and that should be fun. Did you know Irene is the best support for like 85% of teams now? Oh yeah, absolutely. Because 80 like a lot of teams these days are just Chrysos Heirs teams. Like Dot is primarily a Chrysos Heir team. Like I think the only non-Chrysos Heir that you run on the optimal Dot team is Kafka, because they're supposed to run Hycilins, Kafka, and then you can either kind of go a combination of like Black Swan and Hua Hua, or you do Don Hong PT with Cyrene. So just slap RMC Cyrene on anyone. That is true. RMC Cyrene combo is giga broken. So, but then obviously there's the Exodia team, and then if you're running, Fion as well, that depends a little bit, on your Eidolons, on if she's best in slot or not. So, but yeah, I mean, Cyrene is just broken, especially if you have Ichu, and then if you pair her with any of the other like big ones, uh, in the Chrysos Heirs group as well, you're just gonna have her on 85% of the teams. Saber, Yunli, Ashvale. Yep. Isn't Evanesia also supposedly really good with Cyrene as well? I think you were telling me about that, but I wasn't quite sure. I haven't really looked too much into Evanesia's like gameplay or like her build stuff, just because like obviously my current plan is to not summon for Evanesia. We'll see if I can resist, because I do think she's like probably my favorite non-Himiko Planarcadia character. So that would be really weird just to not have her. But my plan is to hopefully not summon for Evanesia. Yes, Cyrene, RMC, Yao is a great team for Eva. What is her best team? Is it just Elation? Is it just Sparkle, Yao, and then EMC? Pool for faves, not meta. That's the problem, bro. Is that all of them are? Well, you would agree with this. All of them are our favorites. All of the characters in Star Rail are fantastic. Well, not all of them. There's like two in particular. I'm like, okay, but EMC Yao Huaha. Okay, Sparkle not great for her. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I completely forgot that Sparkle isn't great for her. So we'll see. I think it's gonna depend. I did get pretty lucky with Silver Wolf. Like I still have a lot. I have a lot more pools on my account than I expected to have at this point in time. So, but keep in mind, there's still I have to summon for Himiko's team, and Himiko's team I am planning to. Number one, I'm getting Ichu on Himiko, and number two, I'm getting Lycones for all of Himiko's teammates. So that's gonna be super difficult. I have to save where I can, or else I'm gonna be spending a shit ton of money. Goldie, but that only applies to me summoning everyone. True. I wish I could be like you, Goldie. I wish. I truly wish. But unfortunately, that is not the case. I'd be so down to just E6, S5 everything. I'd be so down. Why don't I just win the lottery and just like start doing that? Like, just like so simple, man. Just like get money, dude. Holy shit. Let's go ahead and start transitioning over to my Star Rail account, and we can get started with the account review, because I'm excited to see what I have in store. Just quit every other game. Actually, Goldie, I did spend another $100 in Nikkei recently. Just because they had like a similar like the step up banner in Star Rail, where hold on, I'm about to log into the game. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. We're gonna turn on audio. Boom, bam, bop. This thing. This thing? They had this in Nikkei as well. And the reward that they had in Nikkei for this was incredible as opposed to like what this is. Right, this is like not that worth it anymore. I'm still gonna do this just because I'm planning on getting all of the anniversary top ups regardless, right? But the one in EK was like super good, and I was like, well, $100, why not? So dropped it right then and there. So yeah, if I did quit every other game, I probably could spend more in Star Rail. But where's the fun in that? I don't spend any more in Epic 7, and I only occasionally spend on Zenless Zone Zero, just because in Zenless I am lucky enough in Zenless to not want every character. But yeah, Zenless is gonna be rough here in just a bit because Remiel M2 is gonna come out soon, and I have to get Remiel M2 because she is my second favorite character in the game. So well, I won't get M2 for Remiel if her Mindscapes aren't good, obviously. That's the only reason I don't have Evelyn Mindscapes. I would absolutely summon for Evelyn Mindscapes in Zenless if they were good, but they're like completely useless. Goldie, the Ferbers are so glitched, they would show up in cutscenes my Trailblazer wasn't even in. Really? That's kind of sad. I don't really plan on using them regardless, though. I mean, the Ferbos are cute, but like, they don't really mean a lot to me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, they're just kind of there. I'm not a big fan of like the big prize this time. The pet thing, I would have preferred anything else really. So, but like whatever, right? It is what it is. Well, honestly, the only reason I would really be doing it is for the Golden Companion Spirit and the Memory Shard. That's kind of it. They just popped up in Pearl's office during the Civil Wolf part. Absolutely goated. Like, who can infiltrate Pearl's office? Kuchiba and your Furbo pet. That's it. That's all. But yeah, I'm gonna. You turn them off. Yeah, I'm not gonna use them. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get this, like I said, just because I'm gonna get the top up, and best to get the top up. You know, if you're gonna get extra shit. So, and I'm gonna get the rewards before. Like, I'm always down to get a Golden Companion Spirit, right? I don't think I've spent any of my Golden Companion Spirits. I still have them all. Yeah, I have 5. So I'm getting very close to just being able to like E6 a character in this shop if I wanted to. But I think I have every character in the shop at this point in time. Yeah, I've got Robin, Huahua, Topaz, Ranmei, Locha. I've got all the standard banner characters, so I could E6 any one of them now if I wanted. I wish... did they tell you the Eidolons? Okay, cool. They do tell you the Eidolons if you click on them. I have them all at E0. That's it. Himiko's at E4, Claire's at E1, Bronya's almost E6, Walt is E2, Yanqing is E1, Bailu is E2. So, yeah, because I would assume that you haven't spent them on any, like me. Like, if you've gotten every like significant reward in the game and you haven't spent any, I think 5 is the max that you can have. So, all right, let's go ahead and get to it. 3-year anniversary account review. What is this? Oh, I need to do that later. We'll do that later. Annual Trailblaze report. No, the joke is I've spent a bunch of... Oh, true. Ooh, volume. Hold on, let me decrease it slightly for you guys. There we go. Let me know if volume is too loud, Goldie. I just have a bunch because all my 50-50 losses are E6. Oh, that's true, because you've summoned so much so that whenever you get a standard character, it is just E6 automatically. Wait, Goldie, for like the new standard characters, do you have those E6 like Civil Wolf? It is quite loud. It did sound very loud. What about there? I think that's probably better. It also could be that my voice is too soft as well. But the problem with this microphone is that it does peak a little, so I don't want to raise it too much. So, not them? Gotcha. So, like, Argenti. Well, I would assume so, right? Because they just came out. What about, like, Zila and Blade? Do you have them E6? That'd be so funny. So what's up here? Oh, so we get rewards for this. I'm down. We can share music. I can turn music off and on. Yeah, it is just very loud music in general. I can like decrease it slightly even more. Let's go like right there. I think that's as low as I want to go. Besides, we're not going to be here for too long. Zila is E1. Rude. I think I have a better Zila than you do then. Alright, what do you got for me? Don Hung. I don't think that's March. Oh, there we go. Show me Himiko. Show me Himicat, please. The Fluffies are so cute. Please show me Sunday Fluffy, man. Can we get some Sunday inclusion on all these like big events? Like this year's anniversary event didn't have Sunday. Maybe Sage. She's also level 1. Yeah, my Zila's level 1 as she was, I think. Hello. (2023) 6/19. Actually, that's really good to have an actual date. 6/19/2023, Goldie. That's how long we've been playing. Obviously, we took a break somewhere in between then. I missed 3 days. No. Big Sag. Big Sag. Morning is your most active highlight of the day. That is true, because I like wake up and I immediately do my gacha events. That's what happens. Hi, Dahlia. According to legend, if you peel an apple late at night on the express, a lady will appear. All right, I'm gonna peel an apple right before I go to sleep tonight. I'm gonna expect Dahlia to show up in my bedroom. The angry March chibi is so cute. All right, what do we got? So it took me like 11 days to get to the end of Bellabog. Very cool. Like, okay, I've seen this. Took me just a bit longer to do Cienjo, and then Penacony much later, obviously. Mother! What, the also same day as me? Well, we were mostly playing at the same time on Discord, so I'm not too surprised. Cyrene! And then playing Arcadia, last but not least. What, the you didn't do Cienjo? How'd I not? What do you mean I didn't do Cienjo? I did do Cienjo. I don't think they're showing the second Cienjo. Hi, Kazarus. Oh, she looks really good with, like, when it came out. I don't quite remember, actually. I mean, whatever the dates showed there. Fentilia? Oh, no, I didn't do Fentilia right away. Yeah! I think this one I did expect, though. Because I did a lot of chest hunting with Firefly back in the year. God, Firefly shibis are so... No, this is map exploration. This is map exploration. It probably still is Firefly for combat, to be fair. 17 new friends? Are these all like the characters I've summoned for? Oh! I love small Cyrene, dude. She's so cute. She's so cute. That's the important one who you use in the overworld? Oh yeah, then certainly it is Firefly. Cyrene will probably be the next one, though. Interesting. What is this? High Finon. The most frequently deployed character each month was Castris? Firefly? Oh, each month. Yeah. Like, this makes sense, right? This is pretty interesting, though. Why was this different? Oh, wait, no. I don't think I've ever run Evernight without Cyrene. Evernight, Ron may take over. Yeah, it's basically just how many times did you deploy each team, right? Ironically, I don't use Ron May anymore. Ironically. When did I ever use Firefly without Ron May here, though? Like, this is really, like, interesting. Like, this data doesn't make sense to me. Also, what the fuck? Oh, that's just like a start of the new year. Oh yeah, the each path. Wait, hold on. I kind of want to guess this. Abundance? Probably Hua Hua. Hua Hua's abundance, right? Yeah, Hua Hua's abundance. Preservation. I think it's Don Hung, PT, Nihility, almost certainly Kafka. Hunt would be... Oh, actually, maybe not Kafka. Probably Fugue, right? Fugue is Nihility. So probably her. Hunt would be... Oh, I don't use a lot of Hunt, actually. Who would be Hunt? Austin, who's a Hunt character that like is like not typically like single target? Archer? Yeah, I was gonna say Archer, but I don't think I've run Archer very often. Destruction is Firefly. Harmony is... Who would Harmony be? Probably Sunday? Remembrance, either Cyrene, Castris, or Evernight, one of the three. Or Hyacinth, one of the 4 Exodia ones. Ron May? Oh yeah, Ron May. And then Erudition. Erudition is also probably super low. I actually probably don't know who Erudition is. Elation probably is going to be Yao Guang. Let's see. Oh, goddamn, really? So Aventurine took Preservation. Oh, that makes sense, actually. Break team. So basically just break team across the board. So break team, break team, break team, break team, and then yeah, Castris for Remembrance makes sense. If only Cyrene had came out before. Jean Shue's sweep. You want to know, Goldie, what those 7 times are? It's probably like events and shit where like it was built for me. I don't have Jean Shue built. And then Yao Guang basically like genuinely like I've only ever run Yao Guang like when Silver Wolf. I've just started running my Elation team. I have not run it before. Fei Xiao makes sense actually. I do use her a little bit. Yep, makes sense. I'm actually glad that Firefly is number 1. That makes me happy. I was kind of worried it'd be like Ron May or like someone else, but like having Firefly at at the top is good. It's supposed to be Firefly or Cyrene, right? That's supposed to be the answer. Oh, look at my cute girl. Frequently borrow oh, people who borrowed my support character. Well, thank you very much. Seven times out of, yeah. I don't think there's really... Let's do Himiko. I don't think I really have like anything special for her. Let's go! I think this is the only one we'll take a look at. That's a lot of Trailblazer power. My Fanon made me 5 million credits. God damn. It is E6S5 after all. Let me just E6S5 one character so I can also make a shit ton of credits passively. Thank you. Alright, that was the most interesting part, I think, of this. I don't really care too much about the rest, I think. But we're gonna do the rest anyway. Firefly is king or queen once again. Cyrene could not overtake her. Hi, Black Swan. Good to see you. Goldie, I'd be interested to know your number here. You probably hit like some batshit crazy number. I had 3 people ask me to put Finon back when I took him off from... That's so funny. Actually, that makes sense. Like, people who rely on that, that'd be so funny. I don't ever use support characters. I just run with what I have. Hi, Cypher. A Goliath. Sea Slammers was pretty goated. Take me back to Ides Elysiae, please. Definitely my favorite like environment in the game for sure. That was loud. 2,147,483,648. The fuck, Goldie? Are you fine on going through your cycles? What is this? The damage cap? The damage cap is 999 or something like that, right? Hi, Finon. Thank you. Mighty. Haikas. Yeah, I'm just kind of clicking through this at this point. Like I said, I don't really care too much about this. The first part was what was interesting. Sound effects are loud, though. Goddamn. And now we're in Planet Arcadia. I feel like that number is pretty low. I was expecting it to be higher. No, that was the old damage cap. The max an integer can hold. Oh, gotcha. Look at Goldie is your third favorite character in the entire game. After you said you weren't getting any Eidolons. I'm just joshing ya. I'm just joshing ya. Oh, this is like Cosmic Con. Yeah, I use Finon strategy in Cosmic Con. It's really fun. I tried running Firefly Sireni and just I kept losing some games. What's going on, Finon? Oh, not Finon. Why was Sunday crying there? They just had the same hair color. I got confused. They raised it for Currency Wars, though. Really? I guess that makes sense because of all the buffs that you can get, right? Abyssal Myriad. This is probably going to be the most embarrassing one. I assume this is like end game performance. Oh no. God, I remember getting this occurrence for the first time. It was wonderful. I'm so glad I got it. Number of Sireni encounters, 1. Number of Ranmei encounters, 1. Also, Hua Hua, good for you. What's going on, Stone? How's it going, my friend? Happy Tuesday. Stone, I saw that you streamed last night, or I don't know. I'm not sure if it was last night or Sunday night. My bad, brother. I was trying to catch it, but it was too late for me. I was very tired. But I hope you're doing well, Stone. We're doing the anniversary review, and then we're gonna start talking. All right, stick around because we're gonna discuss. Or hey, we can discuss now. Sunday 30 times. Caster's 27, Hua Hua 26, Firefly 24. Really interesting. Kind of like different representations of different teams, right? Finon team, Remembrance team, Dot team, Break team. That was pretty interesting. Stone, you enjoying your Sireni cat from me? Oh, Stone, you have Sireni cat. That's dope. Oh, what is this? Pure Fiction, Remembrance team, dot. And then this is what is this? Divergent? This is Divergent, right? Yeah. Stone, yeah, if you want, I can give you the UID as well. I already got my weeklies, Stone. Thank you very much. But feel free to put your UID. I'll add you. Happy to add you, my friend. But yeah, I already got this week's these week's cats. Like I said, I'm just gonna get them over time. I'm not gonna rush too far. Oh no, this is Apocalyptic Shadow. Break, Remembrance, break. That makes sense. When did I get two? I remember one of these golds. I don't remember this second gold. What the fuck? Remembrance, break. Makes sense. Bah, this patient guy. Look, it's not patience. I want to get my favorite cats too, but I want to like look forward to it, you know? Like Goldie, what do you have to look forward to now in the event, huh? Like, you're just gonna get now the cat event for you is just any old regular event. You're just looking for dupes at this point. Dupes aren't the same excitement. So, and I'm still 50-50 if Fugue is worth the pools. Fugue is worth the pools, my friend, but if you're looking for E1. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest getting her unless you like really like break. Let's go. Bro, Firefly really dominating this poll again. On Goldie, you were right. I didn't think Firefly was gonna do too well in this year's ranking, just because obviously Cyrene came out midway between, right? But she is everywhere. My number one favorite character in this game continues to dominate. You know me quite well, my friend. You know me quite well. You need multiple to get stacks, so I'm still excited. Yeah, but not quite the same as getting it for the first time, you know what I'm saying? Stone, I know, but with Dahlia enabling Super Break, wouldn't Ranmei just give me more benefit? Well, Fugue is a bit better than Ranmei, but yeah, Ranmei is still plenty good for Break 2. Hyacinth being my most synthesized character is actually kind of interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. Cause I actually don't really run Chrysos Airs and Currency Wars that much, I thought. Stellar Rotten Hunters, let's go. Aw, that's so cute. Oh, I love that. Come on, Blade. Take out the frying pan, my friend. Well, Stone, I would if you've got Dahlia and you've got Firefly, I would suggest getting Tingyun Fugue. Yeah, just run 4-star Tingyun with the break team. That'll work. So, and I still can't believe out of my first 3 parlor cars this week, I found a Silver Wolf, Cyrene, Himiko, and Sun Cats. God damn, my friend. You were swimming in gold. I guess we're just doing the trio, right? We're just doing the trio for this. That makes sense. I think that's everything. Oh. Click here to edit your annual tile. This one for sure. That's the Cyrene one. Forever devoted. Yeah, we'll do the Cyrene one. For sure. Stone, like, aren't they mad rare? I'm not sure, Stone. Goldie has a theory that there is, like, different, like, percentages, for each of the cats, right? Like, one is, like, rarer than the other, but who knows? I have all the cats I want now for display. Now I gotta get stacks. Well, yeah. That's all you have left to look forward to. I still have plenty to look forward to. I still only found one Sunday and no Cyrene or Castros. You hate to see it. Your companions have been waiting here. So type of... Okay. Interesting. Oh, these motherfuckers didn't give me Cyrene, you bitch. Why is... Oh, this is like... I was like gonna say, why is Sunday over here? But it's the like Planet Arcadia grouping. Gotcha. I was about to rage. Bro, put him here! There's like a very clear 6 slot here. Come on, guys. Like, why is the Trailblazer here and Sunday's not here? I don't understand. Let's do Himiko. Oh, there we go. Woof woof. Uh-oh. Ah, they're looking at the robot. That's cute. Stellar Rotten Hunters. Planet Festivities? Oh, we're getting some Yuri bait. Let's go. Who else is hyped for Acheron SP? Raise your hand. Goldie, click self-select for Cyrene. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. We'll get to that. Well, I'm gonna do all the groups first. Yeah, Steven is too cool for school. Who else remembers the, I think it's 3.2 or 3.1. I think it's 3.2. But the dialogue at the Grove of Epiphany with the flashback where Cyrene and Finon are like back, like super young. They're like taking class. That's one of my favorite dialogues in all of Inforious. Also, I just missed the dialogue, I think. Can I get it again? Okay, good. No. We're going back. Yeah, fluffy research topic. Let's go. Confirmation that Sparkle and Sparksy are different entities. I'm just kidding. I like that. I like that Sunday's playing around and Don Hung's like, oh god damn it. All right, here we go. We'll do our three favorites in order. So Hima go first. Oh wait, can I like? Do I not get like specific dialogue? Ah. Serene is over here. There she is. Oh, look how cute she is. It'd be really cool if we got small Serene as well, but it doesn't look like it. And then we'll do Firefly for the last one. The top three, ladies and gentlemen. The top. Wait, actually, let's do this. Hold on. No. How do I get them all in the same? Wait, let's do this. Let's do this. There we go. There we are. Well, we might as well do the top 5, right? Might as well do the top 5. Let's do everything. Where's Sunday? He's not that far deep. He's probably closer to the front. Yeah, there he is. And then for now, I'm keeping Mighty at 5. I am considering putting Finon at 5. Me and Goldie had a conversation about it recently, actually. But my boy is still number 5. There we go. Take a screenshot. It's the big tool. There we go. Goldie, I'm sending this to you, my friend. You will be my file explorer. Alright. This is really cool. I like this. And then that, I think that, yeah, that probably finishes the rewards, right? Yep. What's going on, JD? How's it going, my friend? I feel like it's been a while, JD, or maybe I'm just misremembering. I also probably haven't streamed in a hot minute either. My bad. Probably should have selected the data privacy thing, but like whatever. There's Goldie. That's my boy. That's like really the only one that like I know here. Yeah. Nat's gotten me a couple of cats, so we'll do her. There we are. If I just click the link, can I get the thing? Does that work? Okay, good. I think it does. Alright, we're done. Stone, Hoyo, I beg, give us a Firefly outfit where she's in a propagation salmon combustion stage. You know, we were talking about that during the reveal of the Silverwolf trailer, and I kept saying that I don't think it could be a skin, like I thought it could be something else. But I actually think it is more likely now. So let's go ahead and we're gonna teleport. Also, by the way, I wanted to show this off. Look at this hit. This is my wallpaper, or like this is like my photo. Again, the top 3. I would have loved to have a Cyrene like dedicated photo up here, but unfortunately you can only do these 2. So, and Himiko doesn't have many, so you kind of have to do that. We're gonna teleport to ID's Elysiae because that is like my background. But yeah, but JD, hope you're doing well, my man. How's it going? I've been looking for the famous Akivili Meow and it's nowhere to be found. Also, does someone know where to find the Pom-Pom AI? The Pom-Pom AI? Not quite, my friend. Unfortunately, JD, last week I had the Akivili one, so I could have shared my ID with you and you could have gotten it, but I was not aware, my friend. So my usual background place is Cass's Realm. Cass's Realm is very cool. This is where I log in and out every day, basically. I'm like Cyrene, and then I just teleport here, and then I just go boop. This is what I do. I used to actually walk over here, and I would try to get like both Cyrenes. Where is she? Because she's like typically over here, the NPC Cyrene. But she's disappeared on me. How dare you say no, Cyrene? But yeah, I used to like, she might be over there. I think sometimes she can go over there. But yeah, this is what I do every single day. So my usual background place is Castle's Realm. I hated though the process to unlock the realm. Yeah, the process to unlock the realm is crazy. It does take a really long time. So, but yeah, hope everyone's doing well. So we just finished the anniversary recap. So if you guys want to chat about the 4.2 story, I'm down. Like Stone, JD, your thoughts, Goldie, if you're still around. I know Goldie was in the in and out driveway, so he might be gone now. So, oh, speaking of Goldie, like before we get into the discussion, let me tell you guys about what we did over the weekend. So as both of you probably know, and you know many longtime viewers of the channel, me and Goldie know each other IRL. We have been good friends for a very long time, and we are obviously both very passionate about Star Rail and both streamers. So over the weekend, where we live, I think I've already mentioned this. We live in just north of Dallas, Texas. So we live in Texas, and they had a Hoyoverse concert. It was Hoyo Fair, so not necessarily like an official concert, but it was a Hoyo Fair fan concert, very close to where we live, and so we went together, and it was super fucking cool. I brought up a couple of pictures so we can kind of take a look. Like this is I guess like a height reveal, but this is me and Goldie at the concert. This is the background that they had. These are like the four main characters that they focused on. It was super cool. Goldie, I'm talking about the concert. It was super cool, super fun. The music they played was amazing, and they had a couple of surprises as well. Like we knew a couple of songs they were gonna play. Like we knew that they were gonna play Ripples of Past Reverie and stuff like that. But they ended up playing Proi Proi. Yeah, Proi Proi was fucking awesome, and they ended up doing a couple of the more iconic Honkai Impact the Third songs as well. So that was really cool. And then the last thing we got is I have it right here actually, because I haven't like properly put a place for it. But we also got some free merch, and this was like one of the pieces of merch that we got at the concert. It's beautiful. It is like the art that they used for the background for the marketing. And so that was really cool. And I was expecting to pay like serious money for it, but we got it for free. And then I think wait, hold on. I have it right here because I haven't put these up properly. There we go. We also got this ticket that also has like the four characters here. So we got this as well. This one's really cool. So that was awesome. OMG, Leo as a cowboy, that's hot. Well, I will say, even though I do live in Texas, I am not very Texas-like. And we live in a very un-Texas-like part of Texas. Goldie, I screamed it. My voice was cracking. Yeah, you did sing quite loud when we were doing Proi Proi. So, I was singing as well, but not as loud as Goldie. So yeah, that was really fun. Stone, I need to ask you something, Guldio. What's going on? Is it true you have two Firefly statues because Goldie claims you do? Yeah, hold on. You know what? I don't think JD and Stone, I don't think you guys have seen it. So this is my office. This is where I do work and my streaming. There's a lot of figures that you guys don't see above here because my camera is actually pointed super low. So you guys don't get to see what I have like further up. And that's intentional, by the way. That's because some of the figures that are higher up are, let's just say, not necessarily PG-13 figures. So I don't want to show those off on stream, obviously, because I don't want to get flagged by Twitch, but I also don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. But in the middle bookcase, I have two Firefly statues, one of which is very rare. And let me go ahead and get them for you. I'll be right back. I'll get both. Here's the first one. There we are. Position. There we go. All right, hold on. I gotta get my headphones back on. Give me just a second. Oh! And here's this. I'm gonna have to carry this one because they're both really, really big and they're both fragile. So, but the camera's gonna have to stay here. So this is my second Firefly statue. This is just Sam, so it's not technically Firefly, but you know it is her, right? So, and then so this one was about $200, $230, something like that. I don't quite remember. But this one over here, this one is a resin figure that they only made like 80 in the world of. Austin. Goldie always makes fun of me for that. But this one was about $400 to $500. I always forget. But yeah, they're both very fragile, so I had to be very careful with them. So, yeah, super fun. Anyway, I'm gonna put these back because, like I said, they are fragile, and having them here is dangerous. But if anyone ever doubted that Firefly is my favorite character in Star Rail, there we go. Gotta put my headphones back. And we gotta grab her. Come on. And yeah, that's it. Well, I do have like other like Firefly merchandise with those statues, but they are like smaller things. There's like acrylic stands and buttons. I have a whole shrine for her. So JD, let me catch up the chat here really quick. JD, you're supposed to talk 7 times with Akivili Meow, but it's hard if he appears once in a blue moon. Oh, really? I will have to research that because I actually didn't know there was like an event behind it. So let me guess, showing too much skin. Yes. Well, they're not necessarily. One of them is very particularly a horny figure, and it's a custom figure that I actually got painted by the sculptor of the figure. Of Annis. For those of you guys who know what Nikke, Goddess of Victory is, one of the main characters' name is Annis. She's, let's just say, and I got a custom figure of her that shows off a lot of skin, and then the other one is just an Epic 7 skin of New Moon Luna. Skin, a figure of New Moon Luna from Epic 7. Goldie, it's fine. I'm gonna have 3 Cyrene statues in the end. The other one is the one I have. Yeah, you have the Sam one. The Cyrene figs, I think I'm also gonna have 2 of them. I think probably we'll see. But yeah, you're gonna have more than me, Goldie. Unfortunately, my territorial self is molding at the moment. He says, aggressively. So, and how fragile are we talking? It is quite fragile. Like if I drop the figures and they land awkwardly, they for sure are gonna break. So, I keep them. I don't like to move them very often, but sometimes I do for stream. JD, do I? JD, down, JD. Do I see some knee? Yeah, I think I've shown off my legs before on stream. There have been times where I go to the bathroom and stuff. You guys have probably seen that. Goldie, wait, no, never mind. I only have true Cyrene statues. Really? Didn't you order like the drip art one? You're gonna get the one that I'm getting, the one for the anti collab one, or not the anti collab one, the fashion one, and then you're gonna get the Oh wait, no, it is only 2, right? I don't know why I was thinking there was a 3rd. Oh no, I'm thinking of the pop. That's the one I'm getting. I'm getting the pop, and I'm gonna get the fashion magazine collab one. Stone, I can get you a UID with the Akivili cake if you need. Oh my god, bro. Stone's just dealing out here, bro. He's got IDs for every single cat that you need. Stone, you're an absolute goat. JD and some slippers. Fucking hell. JD, your thirsting for me is appreciated and flattering, but unfortunately, I swing the other way. I swing the other way quite aggressively. Goldie will tell you how much of a let's just say simp that. Well, simp is not the right word. Goldie, what word would you use to describe my tendencies? Let's say towards attractive anime women. Goldie, 3 if we count the official one, actually. Yeah, 3 Gigo the Splash are the other resin one. I don't remember the Gigo one. Or oh no, Gigo is Pop. Sorry, it's not a Pop figure. My bad. JD, I got scolded like a dog. Down, boy. Just like smack you on the head. It's okay. It's okay, JD. We all love and support each other here. Goldie, the human incarnation of lust. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but probably. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. I am a horny boy. Can you blame me? Can you blame me? Look at all the attractive characters in this game. Look. 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 I am in heaven as a straight man. But also, like, if you are, like, into guys, look. Look. Where's Mighty? I need to find my... Look. Like, guys are eating pretty good, too. So I wonder, though, how Blade's gonna get his new form. Probably something to do with the, like, tree that Silverwolf implanted into him in 4.2. Dude, I'm Lust 220 491. All jokes anyway. Yeah. I know, JD. Don't worry. Don't worry. If anyone in my stream chat ever made me uncomfortable with the way they approached me, I would address it directly. So, JD, you've never once made me feel uncomfortable. I know it's all jokes and fun. Goldie Shuhu boss? Yeah, bro. Okay, well, this is like a good transition point to talking about the 4.2. Let's go ahead and let's teleport. Let's give ourselves a more appropriate backdrop, shall we? Phantasm Moon Courtyard. There we go. We'll stick with Cyrene though. We'll stick with Cyrene. There we go. Good backdrop. So, and I thought we killed Shuhu at the end of 4.2. We didn't necessarily kill Shuhu, because like Shuhu wasn't necessarily like completely revived yet. He was, or it was on its way to being revived. But Blade and Dan Hung and Sunday did their thing, and they're like, but what if we stopped that? What if we like said, I don't think so. And then at the very last minute, Silverwolf was like, oh, that's a big tree. And let me just go. And she used like a shrinker, and like the tree is now inside a Blade. So. I see nothing, Leo. What do you mean? Oh, shit. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Very nice. Thank you, JD. I did want like a backdrop. So, because whenever we're discussing like this, I usually like to have some type of backdrop. The tree was indeed sus, Goldie. We still don't necessarily know like if that's going to have any story impact. I assume it would. I actually think, like I said, it's going to be what leads to more in Axel Blade. So, still terrified by that final scene of 4.2. Who has seen the theory that Kuchiba is actually a Pathstrider of the Order because of the visual glitches on the screen in the CG art? I think Kuchiba could be really interesting if she ends up being a Pathstrider of the Order. A lot of people have said that Kuchiba is like Enna or something. I don't know if I want Kuchiba to be like a straight up Eon. I don't think that's what I want. But maybe an Emanator of the Order would be cool. I also, my initial thought was that she was going to be Polka, but I don't really think that anymore. JD, Leo, I don't see your game low. You're gorgeous though. Well, thank you very much, JD. But thank you for reminding me about the background. You think Kuchiba is Paimon? Nice. Genshin. When does Nefer come out? Does she come out tonight? I have a friend who plays Genshin, and he was wondering when the new banner is released. Today? Okay, cool. I'll have to let him know. I want to watch this summoning. Is it both Nefer and Llama? Are they both coming out at the same time, or is it just Nefer? Stone, like, what the fuck you mean Ouroboros is on Planet Kitty? Yeah, bro. Again, like, talking about theories. There's always been the theory, right, that the IPC like secretly worships the veracity and not the preservation. I don't necessarily think that's gonna happen, but like obviously like there's some creepy like like pretty decently sus things that are happening with the IPC and Plan Arcadia. Like Pearl so far has been somewhat trustworthy and she's definitely been helpful, but we still can't fully trust Pearl, right? So there's definitely going to be some developments that happen. Yes, both. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I repeat, Himiko back on the fucking train. Exactly, Stone. Himiko, get back on the train, lock her in her room, make sure that she doesn't leave. That was me the entirety of 4.2. You guys can go back and watch the VOD. I was having a fucking heart attack when like she was like, hey, you guys should go on ahead to confront Full Wish. I will take care of these monsters on my own. I was like, no, what the fuck you ain't. You're coming with us or I'm staying here. Like, Mother is not being alone whatsoever. We don't need another chapter 9. True. So, but yeah, I think the more interesting part about the last scene for me is Kuchiba, though. Like, obviously, Ouroboros and Veracity being a parent Acadia is really cool. But I always suspected that there was going to be like another big path alongside the elation and the abundance involved in, you know, in Planet Arcadia. I don't really necessarily count the preservation because the IPC's representation of preservation is always very loose. So, but yeah, now we have the abundance, we have the veracity, we've got the elation, and kind of we've got the preservation. All of them in Planet Arcadia. Really cool. When Hibigamo was left alone in the tower, my harp skipped a beat like I just E6. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, JD. It was that moment. She was like, you guys go on ahead. I can take care of this. And I was like, no, Mother, how about not? I'm going to stay here with you. But we had no choice. We had to leave her behind. And then she showed up at the end. And I was like, oh, be still, my heart. Stone, I'm scared for 4.4. I actually am the complete opposite. I think I'm still of the belief that Himiko died or she is dead and that her SP is going to be like her, like, you know, being revived or whatever. I don't know if being revived is the right word, but, you know, being complete. Like, we get to find out what happened. Because I think it'd be kind of a waste to have, like, that like, end credit scene, or not end credit scene, but to have that, like, cliffhanger scene at the end of 4.0 and not do anything with it. With, like, Himiko and Ryusuke. JD, I wonder in which patch we are going to Astropolis. Yeah, 4.5 is what is rumored. Or was it straight up confirmed? I don't quite remember. I think it is rumored to be 4.5. I just don't know if it's like official yet or no. That's going to be fucking fun. I'm excited to go to Astropolis. But I've actually kind of endeared myself to Planet Arcadia. As someone who recently went to Japan for the very first time, like it does like give me a little bit of nostalgia. So isn't that the Oven patch? I actually don't know what. So 4.3 is supposed to be what? Pearl? No, 4.3 is supposed to be just Blade, right? It's just Blade. And then 4.4 is Pearl Himiko. Is that right? Did I get that right? I don't quite know. We still have a lot of characters, man. We've got like Robin SP, Aventurine SP that we have to get to. So, yeah, Robin is supposed to be Astropolis. So I think Pearl is 4.4 with Himiko, probably, right? Am I correct as I'm assuming that? Isn't 4.3 just a Blade though? It's just Himiko? That's interesting. Would they do 2 straight patches of just a single character? Because 4.3 is just Blade, right? There's no one else. And if they do Himiko just in 4.4, that's only 2 characters and 2 patches. I guess, you know, Himiko being a main push, like, makes up for that fact, though. And Blade kind of is really important. He's a Stellaron hunter. I'm taking this assumption because Finon was the only new character his patch. Yeah, that is true. But they could always do something different. So we'll see. I'm obviously like whenever Himiko does come out, that'll be the most important day of my life, probably even more so than my birth and the day I graduated college and, you know, the future day that I get married. No, the most important day of my life is Himiko SP release. And she's the Finon of this version cycle. Yeah, she's the summer main push. That's what we call them. She is the Firefly and the Finon, like the summer main pushes. They also leaked the possible next stop, but I will stop there unless someone wants to know. Yeah, let's not say it. Like I said, the only leaks that we want here are animations. and kits. We can talk about kits a little bit, but that's animations and kits are the only things I think we want to talk about. But I did see the leak on the potential next stop. I will say that is really exciting, very cool. Goldie in particular was really excited for it because of the SPs that were also leaked. But keep in mind, guys, we are still a year away, at least, probably more. Well, actually, no, not a year, right? Because that's a really long time. But we are still several months away from even getting close to the next location. So leaks at this point in time are still extremely early. They're unreliable, and even if they were reliable, things change all the time in game development process. So, yeah, just take it with a grain of salt. So I'm hoping Pearl isn't right after Himiko, because if so, I'll have to skip Pearl. Well, the solution stone is just to spend the money. Just spend all of your cash and then problem solved. I mean, hey, it's just that simple. It's just that simple, my friend. No, yeah, it's going to be rough the next couple of patches. It's going to be real rough. I kind of regret summoning for Sparksy because she's not that necessary for Silverwolf. But it's fine, right? It's fine. Stone, aren't majority of leaks gone now as well? Well, they did come out earlier this morning, but there's not a lot of reliability behind them, unfortunately. Saving up for a new controller? Hell yeah. New PS4 controller? PS4. New PS5 controller, Stone? Or like new custom controller or something? Like a scuff controller, maybe? Leo, forgot to say, got Silverwolf level 999. Hey, JD, congrats, my friend. Good for you. Did you win 50-50? That's the big question. Or did you get her early? Or both, potentially. Goldie, I was finally freed from the In-N-Out prison. Took me an hour. Rest in an hour? God damn. Goldie, when you go to In-N-Out, do you only get one double-double? Like, do you wait all that time for just a single double-double? Because your calorie deficit is like way lower than mine. If you go to In-N-Out for just a single double-double, that's crazy to me. I at least get 2, sometimes 3. Stone, yeah, new PS5 controller because 2 of my buttons on my current one have straight up stopped working. Ugh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. JD, no, I told you about Himiko E6 low. Oh, that's right, you did lose. You hate to see it. So Wolf has a 100% crit rate. I wish. My Super Wolf relics have been super bad. You guys want to see? Hold on. I'm glad Goldie came back. I'm glad that Goldie came back. Before we get back into the discussion, you guys want to see how shitty my relic luck in this game is? This is how many access cards I've used. I've used 78 access cards. I don't have that many. I've got, what, 42 access cards left. These are my sub rolls. I have 21 substat rolls in 78 access cards. This is what I deal with on a daily basis. This is my relic luck in this game. It is putrid, awful. I've been bamboozled, led astray, run amok. But yeah, just in case you guys ever wondered how bad my relic luck in this game is, almost 80 access cards, 21 substat rolls. Stone, it's also why I haven't played this patch in HSR. Oof. Oof. Well, Stone, spoilers, obviously, but I assume that you've already prepared yourself for that. Goldie, not Silverwolf gets 100 crit rate no matter what, basically. Basically, because she's a hacker, I guess. My Silverwolf already at 333. Yeah, talk it up, Goldie. Talk it up. Talk it up. You already know what's happening in the next life. Space yacht. Ooh, shit. Back to the background. There we go. The closer you get her 100% outside of battle, the better. Listen, man, I just do what Pridewind tells me to do for the build, and I just live with the consequences. So I'm planning to save guaranteed for Himiko if I lose on Evanesia. Smart choice. Do not betray mother. Goldie still 10 stats lower than my Serenity. Yeah. How many like number like 80 in America or like something like that on your Serenity build? Listen, man, I'm just building karma for the next life. Just building it. We're gonna be living high and mighty. It's gonna be amazing. No, I don't believe in reincarnation. Let me just make that very clear. I need to be very careful about joking about like beliefs and stuff on online. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and transition over to the video because there are a couple things I want to talk about, and I am starting to get kind of hungry. So here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. This is 4.2 CG Inferno, the absolute goat. We'll kind of go through this and talk just a little bit more. I'm also gonna turn off of. I want to turn Star Rail off as well. There we go, so that the music of the background isn't here. 98 in the world. That was close. Of people on Zila Land, anyway. Oh, so it only tracks people that like registered on the website. It's kind of cringe, but I guess like that makes sense. We don't stop until we hit number 1, though. JD, did you do the streamer event? I did. I did do the streamer event. It was very cute, and I really enjoyed it. And it was nice to see Cyrene get a little bit of a call out. We didn't get to see her, obviously, which honestly I expected, but I was still sad. But still nice to see that she got a couple of lines. Goldie Stars, I was robbed. I want to see. We can't see her. She's literally like God and trapped. Show me she's okay, Hoyo. You should be saying Xiaoji. Xiaoji is the one that you want to go after. I've already sent Xiaoji a strongly worded letter. He hasn't responded. I need a sign of life if you want your ransom. That's pretty good. JD Cyrene talking to us from the past. What a lady. Yeah, she's absolutely goated. Not gonna lie, my 50 save pools are gone because I wanted to do a few 10 pools to try to get E1 Fireflies, and now I'm at 60 pity. Well, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. E1 Firefly is pretty good, but if you're going for E1, you really want E2, especially with her Nova Flare now. E2 Firefly it's what's like truly broken now. Bro, I ran Firefly in Anomaly Arbitration the other day. She's way too fucking strong now. E1 is super broken, gets rid of the SP. Yeah, but like if you're just like good at the game and you can manage your skill points, it's not that important, you know? But I guess now with her like E2 like rework, I guess it makes a bit more sense now that I think about it. So you're right, Goldie. Yeah, but doesn't Ichu only get her an extra turn? Yeah, but like it used to only be in it used to be much more restrictive. Now you basically get an extra turn like every single time you kill someone. Are you good in an anomaly, Leo? I'm really not. No, absolutely not. I am not good at this game. Well, I'm good enough at this game to like if I have to manual a team, I know how to manual a team. Like I always learn the teams that I use, but I don't ever manual if I can help it. I just auto everything, man. Fuck this shit. I'm not the biggest fan of the gameplay in this game. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty good. I've played better turn-based games though. So the animations though in this game, ooh, godly. So I'm more of a fan of live combat, JD. Like Zenless, I love Zenless combat. Zenless combat is so good. I'm bad at it. I'm bad at Zenless, but Zenless combat is so good. I love it. It's so fun. Goldie Stars, the same gameplay designers as Trails. Well, yeah, I've never praised Trails gameplay above like just being good. What makes Trails amazing is just the fact that it's the best visual novel in the world. But Trails and Star Rail gameplay are fine. So, and what makes Trails a bit better, in my opinion, is the fact that it is not a gacha game, and that you have access to all the characters, so you can get a bit more creative. So, Stone, I can't 3-star the king fight. Rest in peace, Stone. Me too. I wish. I got silver this time, and that's what I'm happy with. JD, so like Genshin combat is fine. I think the one thing I don't really like about Genshin combat is that it feels a bit loose. Does that make sense? Or weightless. I like impact to my live combat. I like to feel the weight of the strikes and the weight of like parries and like stuff like that. The dodge has to be quick and snappy. Whereas like the combat in Genshin feels a bit floaty. I don't know if that makes sense. I've like tried to describe it to other people, but I feel like I don't ever get my point across too well. So, Goldie, I've heard a lot of complaints about it this time. I thought it was fine. You basically have to have the Elation team, otherwise you're screwed. So did you see the recent post Hoyu drop for ZZZ Gulio? Yeah, dude, I did. I'm excited, man. Oh, fuck me, dude. M2 Remiel and playable Bell slash Wise is gonna end me, dude. I'm gonna have to spend so much money. But yeah, Pyrosis. No, not Pyrosis. What's it called? Hold on. Hold on. Eh, whatever. I'll search it up later. Go the true down with Gotcha MH player. Monster Hunter is amazing. For those of you who have not played Monster Hunter, please play Monster Hunter. It is one of my favorite games of all time. JD, Genshin Impact has no impact for you. The irony. Yeah, well said. But I still like the combat in Genshin. I think it's good. But for example, like Zenless combat is amazing. Wuthering Waves combat I also really enjoyed. So like that's my type of combat. It's like the fast-paced, quick live action combat, but with a little bit of weight to it. Goldie, don't wrap me out on my thoughts on playable Wise. Goldie does not like playable Bell / Wise. He called the design bad. So yeah, uninstall. Please, everyone send him funny memes on his Goldie. I don't know if you have social media for your channel, but that's what I was gonna say. Pyrois, thank you. Stone, I've heard rumors Pyrois will be free. I doubt it though. Oh, bro, if they're free, that would have saved me so much stress. If Pyrois is free, that would have saved me so much stress, dude. Remiel is gonna eat me alive. Because Remiel, I'm gonna get her M2 as long as it's good, and then her full team with all W engines, right? So. Goldie, someone told me they're a rank because their drip didn't have animation. Oh, bro, please. Please. I don't know anything about it, though. I don't think it looks cool. Sue me. Yeah, well, we kind of know that you have bad taste, so we're, we've come to expect it. Goldie, also, why is it the same for both? Come on, bro, because it's they're the same character. Well, not the same character, but the avatar character. You get to pick and choose one of them. Also, it's a monster. It's a monster. Like not a monster, but we don't know what it is, right? It's an ethereal or some kind. Calling my taste bad indirectly insults your own. Well, you don't need to tell them that, Goldie. Why would you do that to me? But I like Pyros. I think I was defending Pyros last night. Anywho, let's talk about the story quest. A rare disagreement for us. Yeah, me and Goldie typically have the same taste in things. The first thing I want to talk about. Where? No. Hi Sunday, how's it going? Damn, this was this early into the game. Here we go. We could use this. God, this dynamic was good, wasn't it? I did not expect Evanescia and Yao Guang to have this much chemistry with each other. When it ended with Evanescia and Yao, Yao Guang, right? Did I say Yao Miko? My brain is spiraling. Yao Guang and Evanescia having the chemistry that they did was very surprising to me. In hindsight, I can see why it works because they're both kind of trolly characters. Yao Guang is just a little bit more serious, right? A little bit more weight to it. But at the end of 4.1, when they kind of showed this, dynamic, I was like, oh, interesting. I think this is going to be like a short scene. But in this in this story quest, they really went all in on this. Like, this is one of the primary relationships in Planet Arcadia now that they've developed here. And it really works. I think the reason why it really works is because they kind of switch roles. At one point, one is like humorous and the other one is serious. And then it switches. Then the other one is more lighthearted, and then the other one is a bit more serious. Because like I said, they're kind of similar characters, and they can be both serious and trolly at the same time. And they're also both mysterious characters. So you have a lot of things you can work with there to make some really good dialogue, some really great scenes. So yeah, really strong dynamic here. But also the other thing I wanted to point out, bro, Evanescia's voice actor is doing an amazing job. Props to Evanescia's voice actor. I think her performance is like a little bit underrated because it's not that standout, right? Like a performance like Finon's, like Joshua Water with Finon's, that one stands out, right? It's easy to see why that performance is incredible. But Evanesia's voice actor is more subtle with her performance, but I think it's so good. She's doing such a good job at selling the character, selling the emotional moments, and all that stuff. And the actual cadence of the character that they've established with Evanesia is really good. So just wanted to point that out really quickly. Stone, it looks badass to me. Talking about Pyro still, yeah, yeah. I think playable Bell and Wise are gonna be awesome. Goldie, I might just be burnt out of ZZZ. Lol. I mean, yeah, I thought you uninstalled ZZZ, didn't you? I was under the impression that you had given up on the game. Goldie, Eva and Yao was so funny. Yeah, it was really funny, but also I think insightful to each of their characters, emotional in some ways as well. Like one scene that I really liked was pretty close to this point, right? Yeah, this scene right here where Evanesia kind of corrects. I don't know if I want to say corrects Yao Guang because that's really not what she's doing here, but she kind of takes something that Yao Guang said in passing, like very casually, and she's like, "Wait, hold on. We shouldn't forget about the importance of these people. Yes, obviously they are antagonizing us, and yes, obviously, they're making things difficult for us, but there's still people that are being manipulated, taken advantage of, and we shouldn't forget about them." And it kind of shows the character of Evanesia, and also in hindsight, not in hindsight, but in return, Yao was like more strategic, more like all seeing as a strategist that sometimes she forgets, about these smaller things like the citizens, right? And she needs to be reminded of things like this by a character like Evanesia. So, Goldie, the deeper VA Eva has in her scary form is much more what I expected, honestly, but I love her normal one too. Yeah, the deeper VA in her scary form, her abundance form, whatever you want to call it, is also very strong. But her default kind of like speaking tone is what I'm mostly referring to. So, do you think Vanessa Australia will be on more on the serious or goofy side? I actually kind of want it to be more on the serious side, if you ask me, because I just really like Evanessia's character, and I think we've gotten a lot of her goofy side already. So, but if you had to ask me what I think it's gonna be, I do think it's gonna be more goofy, but I would prefer for it to be serious. Goldie, I hope they go more funny, and this is her elation form. Well, looks like you and I think differently, Goldie. Goldie, you're a Cienjo general. Shouldn't you have a cool ride? Yeah, that was one of the best parts of this story quest for sure. And then she's like, "Can you spot me some money? I need a ticket." It was really funny, man. Goldie, she will get an SP as a Sakura. Is it? I thought it was Yay Sakura. Anyway, uh, gotcha. You just misspelled it. Abundance emanator, please, Hoyer. Yeah, I mean, if they were gonna give any Planet Arcadia an SP in the future, Evanesia is a good contender. So I'm not gonna disagree with you. But yeah, she's I think aside from Himiko, probably my favorite Planet Arcadia character up until now. Having a lot of fun with her character, and she's been more down to earth, I think, than I expected in a way. Or let's use a different word. Evanesia has been a much more well-rounded character than I expected. I thought she was going to be forced into a very specific role that I knew I was going to like, but more so a restrictive character. But instead, she's been the complete opposite. She's been a character that can interact with different types of other character role type and archetypes. And she has chemistry with each and every single one of them, but she also has different, she has got her own set of beliefs and ideals. She's complicated. She's got an interesting backstory. She's got a great design, fantastic voice acting. Like what's there not to love? And it makes me wanting to skip her that much more difficult. Hoyoverse, can we stop designing well-written characters that I was gonna skip? Like it's like, all right, this character I can probably skip, and then they make them really well written, and all of a sudden I'm just like, well, fuck. So Goldie, she's my fave Pernokidia specific character. Obviously, Silverwolf and Himiko above her. Himiko's above her? I thought you had Evanesia like much higher than Himiko. Though by the end, who knows, she might crack top 10. Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen in Pernokidia. Evanesia is going to have a big role. So, guys, you have to help me. You have to help me, man. Goldie has taken everything that I love, and now he's encroaching on my Himiko OG status. watch, watch the rage bait. Yeah, I got you. Eva is 12? Really? That seems so low to me. That seems so low. I thought she was like top 6 or like top 7 for whatever reason. Goldie, Himiko and Kafka are the mothers. That is very true. Very difficult not to have your mother's rank super high. We got him, boys. We got him. Successful rage bait. Brother, there's too many good characters. Yeah, especially for you, my friend, with your lack of willpower. I say that somewhat like endearingly. Goldie went from I'm not gonna summon any Eidolons on Silverwolf SP to E6 S5. Let's go. Hey, you're probably still gonna E6 S5, Eva. So I won't lie, I have Evanescence above Kafka. I don't think that's necessarily a hot take. I would still have Kafka above Evanescence, but Evanescence is certainly I think up till this point, the more in-depth character. You could even argue that she's better written, but nah, I don't know. Kafka is very well written, despite the very small amount of screen time that she has. So, Goldie, Kafka got me into the game. I have to have her high. I love her. Well, that's fair. You've always had Kafka high, I think. Well, if it wasn't for Kafka, you and I probably wouldn't be playing this game. Because you wouldn't have gotten interested and you wouldn't have recommended that I play it. And then, ironically, if it wasn't for Himiko, I wouldn't keep playing this game either. You might have kept playing, but if Himiko was not my first 5-star, I don't think I would have kept playing this game. I think me getting Himiko as my first 5-star and also getting lucky. The fact that I got her even before the guaranteed 5-star that you got at the beginning of the game is what sold me to keep playing for a little bit. And then obviously the rest of the game, captured me and I fell in love with it. Stone, the character that made me start HSR was actually Firefly. Hell yeah, Stone. Hell yeah, Stone. Let me just, you know what, Stone? I'm going to 3D print a copy of my Firefly statue. I'm going to send it to you. True Firefly fan. True Firefly fan. So you started in Penacony. That's really interesting. Well, that actually isn't that bad because me and Goldie came back because of Penacony as well. He and I ended up taking a break during 1.x. Goldie, I'm glad for it, or I'd have no IRL friends playing it. Well, that is true. Bless Himiko and Kafka. Our mothers are what kept us playing this game. Anywho, Evanescence, Yao Guang, fantastic dynamic. I would love to see more of them. I think they work really well off one another. That said, if you were to ask me who I want Yao Guang to spend a little bit more screen time with, it's Sunday. I think Yao Guang and Sunday's dynamic is way too good for them to not capitalize on. So, and Evanescence works with so many characters that I would separate these two going forward. But I think they work super well off one another. I'm glad that they got this screen time in the story patch. I just think, there's other character dynamics that they could invest a little bit more time in. But you already talked about it a little bit. The next thing I kind of want to talk about actually is the very end. Yeah. So the veracity, right? We already talked about this a little bit, but how do we think this is going to be introduced? Do we think it's Ashvale? Because honestly, that's what makes the most sense. Like, he's got this arm that opens this fucking like big abyss of some kind that just kind of looks like a Leviathan. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you told me, like, if you just gave me a screenshot of the abyss that Ashvale, or not the abyss, what's it called? The rip in the canvas that Pearl told us about in 4.1. I forget what it's called. Someone posted in chat. But all of this looks like the veracity. Goldie, I am a fake Firefly fan because I'm secretly a Sam fan. Well, thankfully, Sam is part of Firefly, but yes, I agree. Fake Firefly fan. She keeps going further and further down the list for you. I'm kidding, by the way. Goldie's been on the Sam train for a long time. I like Yao and Sunday, but man, I was so ecstatic he came back into the Trailblaze fold this patch. No, yeah, I definitely want Sunday's screen time with the Astral Express more, but I think just have Yao Guang there with them. You know what I mean? I don't think Ashvale is the Eon, but I think it's why he's retired on Planet Arcadia. Oh yeah, absolutely. Ashvale is not. I don't even think Ashvale is a pathfinder of the veracity. I just think he's somehow gotten a hold of this power. So we'll supplant her like she did with Polka. Indeed. But yeah, but who do we think Kuchiba is? Because we briefly talked about it. Do we think that she's a Polka? Do we think that she's a Pathstrider of the Order? I honestly think she is probably going to be a Pathstrider of the Order. This imagery just is too obvious. Like, if you just compare it to, like, the imagery of Enna that we've seen before in art, like, just, and it makes sense, right? The type of character that she is. She works in this department, the Department of Aberration Defense, an organization that is supposed to protect public order. She's very, like, in control, very, like, I don't want to say demanding, but, like, she's, like, imposing. She's strict. Like, her general demeanor feels like someone who would be a Pathstrider of the Order. And then you've got this, this visual here. Like, I just think it might be a bit too obvious at this point, but we'll see. But I always knew something was gonna. They don't ever make an NPC design like this if they're not gonna do something with them, right? Like, every major, like, unique NPC design they do always has a role in the story. So Kuchiba just being this random NPC that works with the Department of Aberration Defense, I was like, no, there's no way. She's gonna have some type of important role in the story, and yeah, I figured that they were gonna reveal it here, so I wasn't surprised. Well, she sounds way too different from Polka to me from Amphorius. Yeah, Polka did have, like, a very specific, like, speech to her. So at first I thought she might be Polka just because I thought, like, like, the way that Kuchiba was carrying herself in the story kind of lent itself to Polka. But no, I think she's probably just an Enna Pathstrider or something else that we're not thinking of at the moment that they will reveal, like, later down the line. That said, I don't necessarily think she's an antagonist, though. That might come back to bite me in the ass, but I don't necessarily think she's an antagonist. Particularly because, let's talk about the next thing, probably the most exciting thing in this patch, right? Where is it? It's like somewhere here. He's here. He's here. Well said, Goldie. Asat fucking Praman finally arrives in the Planet Arcadia story, bro. This was, in my opinion, this might have been the best part of 4.2. I think this was such a dope reveal. His on-screen presence was just exactly what it needed to be, despite not, like, obviously, like, being, like, present with a, like, character model. He is intimidating. He's interesting. We don't know what he's planning, but obviously he's planning something. And I just think there was so many ways they could have fucked this up. I think, like, they did, like, such a good job of Lygus, and I was like, just don't move away from the formula. Like, introduce your antagonist early on, make them, like, have them be charismatic. Don't do anything, fun with them. Like, just, they are a Lord Ravager. They are a Pathfinder of the Destruction trying to fucking kill people. Just make them evil, right? Just make them evil, but to make them like a clear antagonist. Like, don't try to do anything too pretty with it. And I think they're doing exactly that. They're just like, yeah, we have a Lord fucking Ravager. Why do anything else? Like, we've established how cool these characters are. We can just lean into it. And so I'm glad that they did. And bro, look how majestic he fucking looks. Oh, bro, what an absolute amazing way to do the reveal with Mr. Smiley and stuff. Goldie, it'd be cool for Sunday to run into an Order Pathstrider. Yeah, that's something else that I've seen for Kuchiba, being a Pathstrider. But I think it'd be really cool if Kuchiba was actually, like, a more, like, healthy Enna Pathstrider, right? Because Sunday was a very obsessive Pathstrider of Enna, or the Order, right? Because Enna's gone now. But, like, what if Sunday were to, like, meet Kuchiba and, like, find out that she's a Pathstrider of the Order, but, like, realize that she's going about it the right way? That could be really interesting. I think that could be a very interesting conversation. For sure, the best Lord Ravager, I'm still partial to Zephyro and Selenova, I think. Zephyro and Selenova just have way too cool designs for me, I think. But yeah, he's dope. Asap Pramod is awesome, and they introduced him at the perfect time. Yeah, I agree. A little bit of a wait, but he was introduced kind of in the same time frame as Lygas was introduced, and even when Lygas is introduced, he wasn't initially introduced as an antagonist, right? So I think most of us knew that Lygas is going to be an antagonist of some kind. So also Silverwolf just facing him down just makes him even cooler. Oh, her even cooler. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Sapramod. Yeah, I mean you have two of the strongest emanators in the universe. Silverwolf and Asap Pramod is facing down each other. That's fucking crazy, dude. This pic is 100% what I'm using for my thumbnail when I do my vid. Lamau. It's also my thumbnail that I use for the YouTube stream. It's actually your wallpaper. God damn. So you really like this pic. Want to know the secret to longevity? Don't die. Yeah, he's the lions are cold. I'll say the lions are fucking cold. But yeah, he's everything I wanted a Sapramod to be. He's imposing. He's powerful. He's sly. He's practical. He's also what's a bit arrogant in the right way, right? It's kind of like earned arrogance, right? And he's intelligent, right? He likes to perform. He likes to plan things. He likes to keep you in his trap, and that's exactly the impression that I got from him in the story patch. So yeah, really great stuff. To kind of transition from Asap Pramod to the person who faced off against Asap Pramod, we'll use the other CG for this. I don't think it's too far back. It's like somewhere around here, right? Let's talk about the anniversary character for a bit. Just for a little bit. I want the Kafka Silverwolf CG, wherever it might be. That's what I'm looking for. Hello, there we go. Silverwolf, I was kind of surprised that she didn't get more screen time in this story patch. Which honestly, given the direction the story is heading in, and given the fact that Silverwolf is a Stellaron hunter, I do think I'm happy with the decision they made. They clearly wanted to give Evanesia more development, and they wanted to give like a lion's share of like screen time to the other characters in the story. Like a lot of characters got like mini bursts of character depth in this story patch. Like Blade got a little bit, Dan Hung got a little bit, Sunday got quite a bit of it at the end. Full Wish was well developed in my opinion, and like I said, Evanesia and Yao Guang as well. So I don't think they had too much room to add too much to Sir Wolf's character here. But what little we got was solid, I think. It was fine. That said, I think one of my minor criticisms of this patch is that Silver Wolf didn't really feel like she did too much outside of her confrontation with Asap Pramod, which, in all fairness, was probably my favorite part of the 4.2 story. But I would say it was more because of Asap Pramod than Silver Wolf. Does that make sense? So I just kind of want to see a little bit more. I think this is a good introduction to what Silver Wolf is going to do in Planet Arcadia, but I hope it's not the end of it. If this is like all the attention she gets in Planet Arcadia, I'd be, I think, a little bit upset, especially because she's, coming into Planet Arcadia, the one Stellaron hunter that we haven't gotten too much of up until this point, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Goldie, full rumor, but I heard she was originally going to be a main push towards the end, but was moved to Annie because of delays. Interesting. Who knows, right? Rumors obviously fly around over who was the main push. At first it was Evanesia, then it was Silverwolf, and then it was, Silverwolf is going to be at the end, and then is Nihilux the main push or not? Like, who knows, right? So that might be why I hope to see her more across the story. Yeah, agreed. Exactly. Like, this is a good introduction, but I would love to see more of Silverwolf's character in Planet Arcadia. I think we need a little bit more, just a tiny bit. Personally, I kind of love that the gamer girl can face down to Lord Ravager. He actually acknowledges he'd lose to her. No, yeah, Silverwolf is fucking strong, and I also kind of like the fact that they've definitely recharacterized her a bit, and I do think a lot of people are saying that's kind of like what's it called? What's the word with an R that talks about like when you like write something and then you change it later? I always forget the word. It never comes to my mind. But some people are like criticizing like this like recharacterization of Silverwolf, which I can understand, right? But my whole a retcon. Thank you, Goldie. Retcon. Like some people are saying that like this is like a retcon of Silverwolf. My whole thing with Silverwolf is that we didn't really have that much of a character. she we had gotten her a little bit like at the start of the game, but we had like one character quest and then like a couple of her appearances and like events throughout the game's life cycle up until this point. But she didn't really have like that much of an established character. So like, yeah, it does feel retcon-ish, but I wouldn't call it a retcon. I would just call it like a recharacterization of a character that they had like planted a long time ago. And I prefer what they're doing now. So what they're doing now with Silverwolf is just something that I prefer. So don't have too many criticisms over the actual idea for a character. I just feel like we need a little bit more of it. Goldie, she might kind of be our herd at this time. Like in the role that they play, I guess. Like an outside Pernicadia character. That could be it. Yeah, I could see that. Her dad comes and she was released in 3.0, then got all her development throughout all of Amphorius. Her development was very subtle, though. I don't think I would want Silverwolf's development for the rest of Amphorius to be subtle. I would want it in my face, directly. Goldie, she has literally no cutscenes except a tutorial. Yeah, she barely has anything. So yeah, I do think retcon isn't inaccurate. I definitely think you could say that. I could be like, okay, well, all right, I can see it. But I don't necessarily agree with it too much as a criticism. Goldie, she's kinda our emanator helper from outside a planet. That is true. Well, to be seen, right? Like she was definitely our ally in 4.2, but who knows? That could change at any point in time. She's, after all, a supplicant. She's our direct rival in the Phantasm Moon game, so she could be an antagonistic figure later in the story if she wanted to be, or if they want her to be. So she isn't necessarily our helper permanently. In fact, I actually kind of don't want her to be our helper permanently. I would love to see some more antagonistic Stellaron activity. That would be really great. And I think Silverwolf is the perfect one to do that, because I think if you antagonize Kafka or Silverwolf in any way going forward, you're going to get a lot of complaints from the community. Kafka and Firefly are just too loved at this point to make them antagonistic, unfortunately. That is true. That's a good point, actually. Silverwolf has shown, especially in this story patch, that she, like the rest of the Stellaron hunters, really cares for the Trailblazer. So that is a good point. Point well made, Goldie. Yeah, that is one thing I liked about Silverwolf in this story, that the fact that she had her moments of like, yeah, I'm power hungry, I'm a bit, like I'm a bit cocky, a bit arrogant, all that stuff, right? But she has matured significantly since her trailers, right? Like in her trailers, she's definitely more of a cocky brat than she is, in today. And I think a big reason for that is because she clearly cares a significant amount for the rest of the Stellaron hunters, for Blade, for Kafka, for Firefly, and the Trailblazer, and Elio as well. You seemed a bit taller to me today. Such a sweet lad. Yeah, that was a great line. And I also like how she's a bit tsundere with like Blade, or like she's like, they took Blade somewhere. And I was like, yeah. Stop being a tsundere. So yeah, I just want to see more. I think that's the only thing I want to say. I want to see more. I think this is a good start to her character in Planet Arcadia, just a little bit more. And also, like I said, if you had told me, do you prefer Evanescia getting screen time or Silverwolf getting screen time, I would have said Evanescia. So I think they made the right choice, but they got to follow up on it. So, what else to talk about? So we talked about Sarpamad. We talked about Kuchiba. Let's talk about the other climax. Let's talk about Full Wish. So Full Wish, I think, was handled surprisingly well. I will be perfectly honest. I was a bit concerned about Full Wish in going forward. I was like, I don't know if she's going to be that compelling of an antagonist. I was happy that they introduced her in 4.1. Don't get me wrong. I was like, okay, new character, new potential antagonist, sure, right? But with the direction that they were going in with her character, I really didn't know she could kind of carry as a main antagonist for an entire story patch. And that's what they were building up to be. But I think they did such a good job in this beginning portion with it, especially attaching it to Himiko. I think you kind of you take a character that's already beloved, right? And a character that's already getting a lot of screen time in Planet Arcadia, Himiko, right? Everyone's attention is on Himiko, especially mine. You know what I'm saying? But you take this character, right? And you take the background of this character and then you attach it to the antagonist that you need to build up quickly. That way you've got a reason to be invested, right? And then you just have them interact. And you do a little bit of backstory, right? You talk about the past, you give the character some depth, and then you follow up on that with this confrontation right here. I think this scene is imperative to the story. I don't think this story works without this scene. The scene with when Full Wish confronts Himiko. It shows that she is human. Like, she is a cult leader, let's be real. But there's intentions behind her becoming a cult leader, right? She is heavily traumatized, heavily mentally broken. There's a lot of baggage there, right? And you can understand why she turned out the way she did. But like Himiko said, she is still, she is still not a victim in this scenario. She is a villain, absolutely. And I like that Full Wish kind of says, like, yeah, I'm aware. Like, Full Wish doesn't ever necessarily get beaten. Like, we don't like necessarily win over Full Wish in this story quest. Like, yes, we beat her big ill form. What's the word? It starts with an E. I cannot, my vocabulary today is so bad. But we beat her boss form, right? But it doesn't ever feel like as if Full Wish ever got beaten from like a beliefs and ideals perspective. She made her point. She stuck to it. She knew what she was doing was wrong, and she just didn't care. And ultimately, it was like, you're all right. Let's do battle. Let's see what happens. If you win, it is what it is. If I win, all right. And that's how the story ended. And I think that was a good way to end her character. Because I think it's important to show that she was a victim and she was also a villain. She is both. It's important to make that distinction that you can absolutely be both. So, Goldie, I agree. Yeah, I was also concerned. Great way to lead into Asap Pramod and Shuhu, honestly. Yeah, it didn't feel like obviously all of us expected her to be like, the puppet that was being manipulated. And she obviously was a puppet and she was being manipulated, but it felt like she had her own story. Like, she had her character arc, she owned her character arc, and it was, dare I say, fairly well written. Talked about some pretty interesting things like cults and, psychological trauma and, stuff like that. So, Full Wish, yeah, I'm down. Good character. Unfortunately, she's dead. So, she's gone. We're not going to get any more Full Wish after this. Full Wish's backstory made me feel bad for her. Yeah, you empathize with Full Wish, and more importantly, other characters in the story, like Himiko, also empathize with Full Wish. But ultimately, she is doing what she is doing, and we had to put a stop to it. Goldie, I know you loved her forever. There was kind of the patch that really made me high on Himiko. Thankfully, Goldie, I don't think your top two will ever be replaced with Cyrene and Finon. I just see them like maybe swapping spots. And Himiko for me is going to be at number 3 for the rest of time. So no matter what, your placement of Himiko will not be higher than mine, which will help my territorialness significantly. That will help me significantly. So, and you already said that you don't think she will make 3, that she's probably going to be like 5th or 4th, if I remember correctly. But I mean, yeah, makes sense because Himiko is being super well written in Planet Arcadia. And she's super likable. And she's a National Express member. And she's our mother. And she's attractive. Had to put it in at the end there, just a little bit. So, but Himiko has been good from the start of Planet Arcadia. So, and especially because I know what happened to her happens to victims IRL. Yes, I do think the way they approached the cult angle was realistic in some ways. In some ways, obviously, you're not gonna have a piece of a monster implanted within you in real life and turn you into a amalgamation of abundance flesh. That's not happening in real life, but there's definitely many techniques that Full Wish used to develop her cult, and it is very much something that happens in real life. Goldie, truly don't think Himiko will hit number 3 unless she's the Emanator or Trailblaze. I don't think they'll do Emanator or Trailblaze, but if they do, Himiko's a good option for it. So Wolf is pretty strongly in number 3 for me right now. Yep, I would agree, Goldie. As your primary outlet for Star Rail, I would agree. So I mean, her backstory happens to people IRL. Yeah, absolutely. People will suffer through an intensely heartbreaking moment in real life, will be heavily damaged psychologically, and as a result, will be preyed upon by other people like Asap Pramod, taken advantage of, and manipulated to become evil people. And then those evil people will then do more evil things, and then, unfortunately, doom and manipulate other people. It is a cycle. And that is how you form a cult. Goldie, and she still needs to surpass Sunday before the Silver Wolf boss fight. What do you mean? Surpass Sunday before the Silver Wolf boss fight? Oh, I was like, you were joking. I thought you were being literal. I was like, Silver Wolf boss fight? What did I miss? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And especially with how much attention Sunday is getting this into Planet Arcadia as well. Because, like, we all know that at the end of Planet Arcadia, Sunday is going to get, like, an official, like, welcome to the Astral Express ceremony, right? Like, he's going to get his ticket. He's going to become an official Trailblazer. And I will cry. I will cry many manly tears. I will be sobbing. In fact, I will put on Robin OST in the background, whichever one. Pick whichever one. It's gonna be like Welt or Himiko or something, and they'll be like, "Welcome Sunday to the Astral Express," and then his model is gonna update with the ticket right where the red bar is on his model, and I will cry. Manly tears. I cried when he said Trailblazer. Yeah, I teared up a little bit too. I really do hope that after he officially joins, he does kind of get put into official marketing. He is starting to slightly get put into like official marketing for the Astral Express, but it isn't like fully there yet. And I think they're waiting for like the official like ticket ceremony or whatever they're gonna do with it. So, question: do we think we're gonna get another member of the Express? Just really quickly. Because I would want there to be like 7, I think. I think one more after Sunday would be good. But we'll see. Goldie, the reason was they couldn't make it public, but now it's public. Yeah, exactly. Good point, Goldie. Let's go over to Sunday because we're talking about Sunday. Sunday was great in the story quest. Obviously, he gets like this moment of development, like right around over here. There we go. Like he starts like tooting. He he's basically using his power of the harmony and kind of doing something similar to what he did with Enna's dream, but this time he's a transformed person, right? He's learned through his time with the Astral Express what it means to help people, right? What it means to kind of give them paradise. And it is not creating this perfect paradise that you have envisioned for yourself. No, it's lending a hand. It's trailblazing, connecting, understanding, coordinating with people, I always forget the motto. And now he is connecting with these people and using it for a specific purpose, trying to help some other person in need. And it is so well written. It is very powerful. And I don't feel like it's being talked about enough. So, but yeah, this is the moment that he like, it is now public. He has joined the Astral Express. So there is no reason to hide it going forward. Goldie, yes, I think we will get one more. I agree. I think we get 7 Astral Express members. I don't know if we would. I don't know if a Planet Arcadia member would be one of them. I love how he sees through Full Wish's call, how his plan would have turned out. Yeah, I think Full Wish even directly compares him to her, right? That happens, and you can tell that it affects him. But like obviously he moves past it in this moment. But I've praised Sunday pretty much from the moment Chupunchu came out. You guys know how much I love this character. He is my 4th favorite character in the game, right behind the top 3. The top 3 are pretty much immutable at this point. I don't even think Kafka SP would surpass the top 3. So being 4th is a big deal. Sunday is awesome, and I'm very glad that they decided to go in this direction with this character. But I also think that he would have been amazing on the Stellar Hunters as well. In general, Sunday is just such an interesting character that he was going to work out either way. Yep, and both of them were basically groomed. Yes. Well, Sunday was more groomed than Full Wish was. I would say Full Wish was manipulated. Because I don't think Asat Pramod like groomed Full Wish. More so, he manipulated her to do what she wanted. Goldie, Full Wish was just groomed by a much, much scarier guy. Yeah, that is very true. Very true. It didn't have Robin as a sister. That is also true. Full Wish didn't have anyone. Full Wish was completely alone. It makes perfect sense why Full Wish turned out the way she did, and it is very tragic, unfortunately. So yeah, Sunday, fantastic. I mean, there's not much to talk about right here, right? We all know why this moment for Sunday was pretty great. And then I don't really have too much else to talk about. I don't think I want to talk about the Evanescia like form too much. Where's the CG? Come on. No, did I skip the CG? Here we go. Like obviously, like we know, like she's abundance, elation. She's kind of like this mix of both. I don't think there's too much like in depth that we could go into here, but this is something that's going to come up later into the story. Right? She's an arbitrator of the Phantasm Moon games, and she's kind of like elation and abundance at the same time. And for whatever reason, she's now participating in the Phantasm Moon games for the first time. We will find out later. Goldie, we know she said her name was Yay Sakura game. You can't fool. Yeah. Yeah. We're just going back to the XPs once again with like Cyrene. Like, okay, like just Alicia, sure. Goldie, I kind of think that if this ends up being the final Phantasm Moon games, Eva could join. I unfortunately think that if a character has the same hair color as another character of the Express, that they will not join. Just because I think they don't want to replicate design, right? If you have both March and Eva on the actual Express, I think it would just be the marketing would kind of not be as varied, I guess is the word I'm trying to say, or well-rounded. I would love for Evanescia to join the Express. Don't get me wrong, but I just think if you share too many similarities of a design with another character of the Astral Express, it's really difficult for you to join. It's one of the many reasons why like I didn't think Finon was joining like seriously in Amphorius or Cyrene, despite them like teasing it, just because pink hair, white clothing, and Finon, again, blue hair, white clothing, and Sunday had just joined basically. So Goldie, what if her main form is blonde? Then yeah, absolutely. Then make it happen. But Goldie, I don't think they'll do that. They would have to update the model, and the model's gonna. I don't think they would do an SP so soon, right? So would love for her to join. I just don't think she will, unfortunately. But yeah, we already talked about Evanescia. I don't think there's a lot to talk about. We talked about Himiko already. Ryusuke and Himiko's interaction was really cute. Again, I always love any reference to Himiko being mom. It is like some of my favorite lines in the story. And well, obviously I'm biased because this is like one of my favorite characters of all time, or like my 3rd favorite characters in the entire game. But it's always such a fun time whenever Ryusuke is brought into the scene and we get to kind of poke fun at Himiko with like the mother angle. So Goldie Sparkle saying Honkai was kind of crazy. Yes, but I was like, really? I was like, I don't know if they like, I don't know, like if they really did much with it. Unfortunately, what's that about? First patch they say the word and two people say it. Don't you mean Ryusuke? Yeah, they're definitely like not pronouncing it fully Japanese. Because the correct pronunciation in Japanese would be Ryusuke. The U is silent, but in English it's like Ryusuke. It's like the same way like Naruto was Sasuke. Like it's supposed to be like Sasuke, but it's Sasuke sometimes. So, but I mean, hey, I'm not here to gatekeep. Well, like I'm here to gatekeep a little, but I'm never gonna say that aloud. But yeah, I don't think there's really anything else to talk about for the most part. I really enjoyed every other character. Ashvale, Blade here was fun as well. I obviously we got a little bit of Blade at the end here, like a little bit of development, right? But I want to save the Blade conversation for next story patch because obviously more next Blade is coming out. So also Ying Sing, hot as fuck. I'm just gonna say he was old, but look at those. Look at the curve of the shoulder blade, dude. God damn. So we're gonna go ahead and stop here for today. Goldie, JD, and Stone, thank you guys so much for coming in and chatting it up with me. It's always a pleasure to share my passions with you all. And these streams are always, in my opinion, some of my favorite streams to do because we could just yap for hours and hours on end. And it was always super fun. So, Goldie, this image was such a thirst trap for Blade. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was very intentional, but also it worked. So, it worked. I can't complain. But yeah, so like I said, we are done with 4.2 content, which means that the next stream is going to be a return to Zenless Zone Zero. So that is going to be super fun. I think I've talked about it before, but we're going to do some reactions for our first stream back. I'm not exactly going to say what they are, but we're going to react to some trailers. You know, I think you guys can kind of put it together, put two and two together, right? So Zenless will be back soon, probably in the coming days. I don't necessarily think it'll be too long till you see me again. So either this Thursday or probably this weekend. So look forward to that. And then we will do Zenless until the Evanescia trailers come out. And then obviously we will react to those once they are available. So should be a good time. And I will see you guys then. So as always a pleasure. Hope you guys have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. Take care, guys. Peace, late.